Once again, welcome to Cooled Care Maths class, and today I will be explaining how to solve simultaneous equations using two important methods, substitution and elimination. I will guide you step by step with clear explanations and examples. First, let us understand what simultaneous equations are. Simultaneous equations are two equations that contain the same variables. The solution to these equations is the set of values that satisfies both equations at the same time. In other words, the values we find must make both equations true. Graphically, simultaneous equations can be represented as straight lines. The solution is the point where the two lines intersect. This point shows the values of the variables that satisfy both equations. For example, consider the equations x plus y equals 5 and x minus y equals 1. Later, we will learn how to solve equations like these step by step. Now let us move on to the first method, which is the substitution method. The substitution method involves making one variable the subject of one equation, and then substituting that expression into the other equation. This allows us to reduce the system into a single equation with one unknown. This method is especially useful when one of the variables already has a coefficient of 1, because it makes rearranging easier. The steps are simple. First, rearrange one equation, then substitute into the other, solve the resulting equation, and finally substitute back to find the second variable. Let us look at an example. Consider the equations y equals 2x plus 1 and x plus y equals 7. Since y is already the subject in the first equation, we can substitute it directly into the second equation. So we get x plus 2x plus 1 equals 7. This simplifies to 3x plus 1 equals 7. Subtracting 1 from both sides gives 3x equals 6. Dividing by 3, we find that x equals 2. Now we substitute this value back into the first equation. So y equals 2 times 2 plus 1, which gives y equals 5. Therefore, the solution is x equals 2 and y equals 5. It is always important to check your answers by substituting them back into both original equations. Next, let us look at the elimination method. The elimination method involves removing one variable by adding or subtracting the equations. This works by making the coefficients of one variable the same, so that the variable cancels out. This method is particularly useful when both equations are already in standard form, or when it is easy to make the coefficients equal by multiplying one or both equations. The steps are: first, make the coefficients of one variable equal, then add or subtract the equations to eliminate that variable, solve the resulting equation, and finally substitute back to find the second variable. Now let us look at an example. Consider the equations 2x plus y equals 9 and x minus y equals 1. Notice that the coefficients of y are positive 1 and negative 1. This means we can eliminate y by adding the equations. Adding the equations gives 2x plus y plus x minus y equals 9 plus 1. This simplifies to 3x equals 10. Dividing both sides by 3, we get x equals 10 over 3. Now, substitute this value into one of the original equations. Using x minus y equals 1, we get 10 over 3 minus y equals 1. Solving this gives y equals 7 over 3. Therefore, the solution is x equals 10 over 3 and y equals 7 over 3. Now, let us briefly compare the two methods. You should use substitution when one variable is easy to isolate. On the other hand, elimination is often faster when the equations are already aligned or can be easily adjusted. In exams, choosing the right method can save time and reduce mistakes. Here are some important exam tips. Always show all your working clearly, because you can earn marks for the correct method even if your final answer is wrong. Always check your answers by substituting them back into both equations. Also, be careful with signs when adding or subtracting equations, and take your time when rearranging expressions. Now, try this practice question. Solve the equations 3x plus 2y equals 12 and x plus y equals 5. You can pause the video and attempt this yourself using either substitution or elimination. Now let us go through the solution. From x plus y equals 5, we can rearrange to get y equals 5 minus x. Substitute this into the first equation to get 3x plus 2 times 5 minus x equals 12. This simplifies to 3x plus 10 minus 2x equals 12, which gives x plus 10 equals 12. Subtracting 10 from both sides, we get x equals 2. Now substitute x equals 2 into y equals 5 minus x, giving y equals 3. Therefore, the solution is x equals 2 and y equals 3. In conclusion, we have learned how to solve simultaneous equations using substitution and elimination methods. We have also seen examples and discussed when to use each method. With regular practice, you will become more confident and faster at solving these types of problems. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was very useful to you. And once again, if you have any comment or question, just feel free to type it in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I wish you all the best.